There are stories that challenge what we think we know about memory, about identity, even about time itself. Most of us can barely recall the details of our early childhood. But what if those memories didn't belong to this life at all? Today we are exploring the strange and compelling case of Dorothy Eady, also known as Om Seti, a woman whose life blurred the line between history and something far more difficult to explain. Born in London in 1904, Dorothy's story takes a dramatic turn after a near-fatal fall as a child. When she wakes, something is different. She begins speaking of a place she's never been. A place of towering stone temples, sacred rituals, and a life she insists was once hers. Ancient Egypt. As she grows older, her connection to this world only deepens, guiding her across continents into the heart of Egyptian archaeology and toward claims that would leave both scholars and skeptics questioning what's possible. Was Dorothy Eady a gifted historian with an extraordinary imagination? A woman shaped by obsession and belief? Or could her memories point to something we don't yet understand? Tonight we step into the sands of time and into one of the most mysterious lives of the 20th century. This is the story of Dorothy Eady.
You took quite a few takes on that one. Don't worry, I won't include them all.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I just want to make sure that the audience knows how much effort you put into that.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you. I don't think they needed to know that, but thank you.
No problem. I think it was ritual. That was the word. That was an issue.
It might have been. I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say? If I see that in here, though, you'll be hearing from my attorney.
I'll put it right here, right now. Oh God. All right. So welcome back, everybody. As you can see, well, if you are watching, you can actually see on YouTube that me and Fernando are back to our normal recording equipment. So the sound quality should be a lot better this time around. Thank God. So I'm excited about that. Also, I feel like we're just so used to, we're very comfortable like this. So we're just kind of in the zone a little more. I don't know. Also, I don't like being close to you,
Yeah, there's not someone yelling at me from off camera.
That's true. There's no one yelling off camera. I have Sam.
While they're searching their TikToks, dude.
I locked Sam in the basement, so she won't bother us.
Classic move.
So I figured, I know, what was it, 4 episodes ago we did a reincarnation one, but this is that one I think I mentioned during the episode that I thought was really, pretty compelling. Like one of the most compelling reincarnation stories out there. Also, I figured you'd like it because there's a lot of you got to put quotations around this, but ancient Egyptian history mentioned in this one. So I think that's kind of cool. I like that stuff. I know you're a history buff.
No,
so.
I love ancient Egypt. I think it's one of the most fascinating times of human history. Who built those pyramids, right?
Or what?
Or what? I know a certain little region in the Middle East might say, oh, it's our ancestor, but who's to say, dude?
Yeah, well,
Who's to say, baby?
Aliens. I'm just going to say it's aliens.
Aliens.
The answer is always aliens. Yeah, I mean, speaking of... Okay. By the way, it's funny.
Speaking of anal.
Speaking of aliens, which I know my mom apparently hates. I was so disappointed to hear that she didn't like aliens.
That is kind of disappointing, yeah.
But too bad, Mom. We're still going to talk about aliens.
But she doesn't believe in anything, right?
Supposedly not. I don't know. Anyways, did you see yesterday? I think it was yesterday. A bunch of more UFO files came out.
Listen,
they're not the files. They're not the files we want, unfortunately. But we got some files.
Listen, Lillian's been telling me the same thing. Like, oh my God, more aliens. It's like...
It's a distraction, brother.
It really is. They've been denying it since the 90s. And now all of a sudden, when the seat's the hottest it's ever been on the bourgeois and the billionaires and the fucking...
Yeah, we know what you're saying. Well, they gotta.
No, so it's like, look,
aliens. You have to though.
What a time to fucking come out with it. Like, did you ever? What was it? Project Blue Light?
Blue Book.
Where it's like, oh no, I think it's called like Blue Light.
I'm pretty sure it's Blue Book. Where they project stuff. Hello, everybody. This is post recording Austin. I just want to say that we're both fucking stupid, and that it's actually Project Blue Beam. It's not Blue Light. It's not Blue Book. It's Blue Beam. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah,
it's Blue Book.
It's gonna be like, oh, all to unify against a common threat, a common enemy, right? And what better way and age to do that in the age of AI, where everything can be made to look hyper realistic?
Yeah,
it's the heat off of a certain country and its ally.
Yeah, and the people
and all the people that are running it. And all the people that are suffering because of it.
Yeah, but the military-industrial complex is booming, brother.
It's just feudalism never left, dude. We're still the working fucking my lord.
I read something. Now, okay, take this with a grain of salt because I don't know. I didn't
We're all just obeying Lord Farquaad, bro.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. But I don't know the facts behind this, but supposedly, like, serfs like had more days off than we do currently. Supposedly, I don't know if that's true or not.
I believe it. Yeah, and then it's the guise of freedom, right? Like, yeah, you're free, but only 2 days a week, really 1.5, and like 2 paid weeks vacation, maybe, depending on where you work.
If you're lucky.
Can I retire at an early age? No. Can I buy a house? No. Can I at least get to the doctor for free? No.
You can't have groceries right now, man.
Dude, it's fucking nuts, man.
It's like $10 for a box of fucking Fruit Loops.
That's pretty expensive.
I mean, it's garbage anyways, but still, like, that shouldn't cost that much money. Yeah. Like, holy shit. But yeah, no, I mean, it's something. It's something, all right. Yeah. But yeah, no, we just kind of stumbled upon aliens. So, despite what we just said, you know, my ears always do perk up a little bit when that stuff comes out. I'm just curious what they're gonna say. You know, honestly, like,
I take everything they said, this current administration and future ones, for that matter.
Well, yeah,
with a huge grain of salt at this point, until something changes.
I mean, there's always been an us versus them thing. Let's face it.
Yeah, but no, now it's getting like louder and more seen and more to the mainstream than it used to be. Because it used to just be people like Jaden. God bless. I need you to tell him he was right about it.
I already did. I swear.
Because like, you used to look at him like 10 years ago, like, oh, you're so fucking crazy, Jaden. Like, you're so fucking full of it. You're so fucking insane. And now I'm like, damn, dude. My man's was right about everything.
Yeah, no, he hit a lot on the nail on the head with a lot of things.
Hey, those sleepless nights with all those yarn cork boards. What does it all mean? What does it all mean?
Yeah, like my current manager, Fernando's old manager, I like him, nice guy, but like,
he's a great guy.
He's just a little kooky. He does have sleep. He has insomnia. Narcolepsy. Okay.
Oh yeah, insomnia. No, it's insomnia. It's not narcolepsy. Is the one where you just.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have that. He has insomnia, so he unfortunately, he has bags under his eyes all the time because the poor guy's tired all the time. But me and Fernando used to kind of always joke and be like, it's actually because he's up all night with the pegboard, like that guy from the, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he's like, what does it mean?
Pepe Sylvia, all this mail.
Yeah, I could totally.
No Sylvia.
I could totally see it.
Not only are all these people real, they've been asking where their mail is for fucking weeks.
Yeah, so that's kind of the joking story we have about why he has bags under his eyes all the time. But I guess moving.
Like, I remember he wouldn't buy an iPhone because he didn't want them to know where he was, and
he has an iPhone now.
You told me he's got an iPhone now.
He does. He has a newer one than I do.
He's gonna switch back to fucking Motorola.
Yeah, Nokia.
Yeah.
But okay. I'll put the aliens back on the shelf for now, because technically aliens aren't involved in this story. They're not even like they're
or so we think.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I guess if aliens are real, I guess they're involved in every story technically. But yeah, as Fernando alluded earlier, we're gonna be talking about Dorothy Eady and her quite eccentric life, and her the fact that she believed she was reincarnated and had in her previous life had lived in ancient Egypt. So that's interesting. I think that's a little more interesting already than a more interesting premise than the last reincarnation story we talked about. I do think the nice thing about this is they're on like the last one where what was his name, Jack or John, or I can't remember the father's name, who was pushing with the Pollock twins. You know, he was abusive. I think anyway, to me it came off as like he was psychologically abusing his family and making them believe this and being coercive. None of that seems to happen in this, which is really nice. There are no bad guys in this one, which is kind of nice. I just don't think there is. I mean, I guess the only bad guys in this are we do touch upon a little bit on the British National Museum, or the, what is it? Is it the Museum of Natural History? The British Museum of Natural History. Well, I'm just going to say there's a lot of stuff in that museum that isn't really there. So, you know.
It's always been the case.
You know, and some people have politely since asked for their stuff back, and they have gotten an answer, a very firm answer, and that has been no. So, you know. Anyways, how about I start kicking it off? We could talk about this Dorothy Eady character a little bit. Okay, so we start our story with the accident. Also what Fernando was. Anyways. On January 16th, 1904...
That's how you talk to your friends?
We're not friends.
You proud of yourself?
We're not friends. On January 16th, 1904, Reuben and Caroline... Fernando's gone. Oh, there he is again.
You happy? You happy with yourself?
I mean, I don't have to look at you now. You could just, I'll look at your little avatar.
Okay, all right. I'm gone. You can record this one by yourself. Say you're sorry.
God. I'm sorry. Okay.
I saw that.
I didn't mean it.
I refuse to come back until you apologize.
All right. All right, everyone. It's just me and you, I guess. All right. On January 16th, 1904, Reuben and Caroline at Eady welcomed their first and only child, Dorothy, into the world. Later that day, the proud parents brought their newborn back to their home in Blackheath, a suburb of London, and began their new lives together. For the first couple years, the family would live relatively harmoniously and without any issues. I will kick you out.
Fuck you.
All right.
Proceed.
Thanks.
As you were. Where were we?
For the first couple years...
You're not my friend.
Okay. For the first couple years, the family would live relatively harmoniously and without any issues. This all changed, however, soon after Dorothy turned 3 years old. One day, while playing around the house, Dorothy accidentally took a tumble down the family home's central flight of stairs. On the way down, she smacked her head on the railing and was found unconscious by her parents shortly after. Dorothy's father immediately called a doctor, who then rushed to the home to treat Dorothy. Sadly, Dorothy quickly fell into a coma, and the doctor informed Reuben and Caroline that there was nothing more he could do, and that he'd be back soon with a death certificate. An hour later, the doctor returned, death certificate in hand. The doctor had the grieving parents sign the document and then began the uncomfortable conversation of making arrangements for Dorothy. It was during this time that the trio began to hear shuffling coming from Dorothy's room. Caroline dashed towards the room and threw open the door. What she saw defied all logic. Dorothy was sitting on the floor in her room and playing with toys as if nothing had ever happened. The doctor immediately proceeded to inspect Dorothy and found no signs of brain damage. To the doctor, it had appeared that Dorothy had simply come back to life with no explanation and no impact to Dorothy's well-being. This, however, was not entirely the case. Soon after the accident, Caroline and Reuben awoke to a blood-curdling scream coming from Dorothy's room. Obviously, this rattled the already on-edge couple, who then dashed towards Dorothy's room. Inside, they found little Dorothy still screaming. When they calmed her down, she managed to tell them that she had had a horrible dream where she was stuck in a place that she had never been before. She didn't know where it was, but she recalled that she apparently lived in a massive columned building surrounded by trees and green gardens. She then began to cry again. Her parents once again assured her that it was just a dream and that she was safe now and that there was no need to cry anymore. Then Dorothy said something peculiar. She said, "I want to go home." Her parents each gave each other a puzzled look and proceeded to tell her that she was in fact home. Dorothy replied by shaking her head. Humoring her, Caroline asked, "Well then, if this isn't home, where would home be?" Dorothy replied, "I don't know, but I want to go back." In addition to the night terrors, there was only one additional perplexing issue that seemed to afflict Dorothy. Apparently, she would occasionally speak with a heavy foreign accent from time to time. Allegedly, it became so unsettling that the Eadys would struggle to find a babysitter for Dorothy, simply because the accent creeped them out so much. As a result of this eccentric quirk, Dorothy would be forced to go on many trips that were quite boring for a child of her age. So yeah,
your best Egyptian accent.
I don't even know what that would sound like, man. Like I don't.
Be as offensive as you already are, dude. My little Nizer, dude.
Miser. I love that.
Colonizer.
A colonizer. Okay. Oh, you shortened it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you abbreviate it. You're my little Nizer, dude.
That sounds really like not right for some reason, but
Oh, so you can say it, but I can, dude? Is that kind of what you're getting?
That's our word, okay?
I can say it. My mom's half white.
Okay, so yeah, Dorothy bumped her head going down the stairs, almost died, and woke up basically with a bad case of night terrors and speaking in a different accent. By the way, the foreign accent in question was supposedly an Egyptian accent. What that sounds like, I actually don't know what that sounds like.
Austin's about to tell you right now. Let's hear it, Austin.
Here's my impression of an Egyptian born in Plattsburgh. Hey guys, what's up?
Okay, you didn't even try.
No, that's what they would sound like. They live here.
No, you're pathetic.
What you do it? You actually are part. Actually, aren't you part Egyptian? Wasn't that one of the things, like one of the 47 things you were?
No, one. How dare you? That's very racist and assumptuous. But no, I was not Egyptian.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What were you?
I'm a different country in the Middle East.
Hello. She's back.
Oh,
she escaped.
hey,
she escaped the basement.
What the fuck? No, but I barely have a voice.
Yeah, what happened? You got sick? Laryngitis?
No,
Hantavirus.
I had upper respiratory infection, but I lost my voice before I even had other symptoms of being sick. I had no voice for 5 days.
So you're on the mend?
Yeah. Are you moving?
We're just holding them for one of Lillian's friends who is moving.
They're in
so they'll probably be there all summer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. She's going back to school.
Well, look at that low V. He's all sexy tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Now I feel like I need to button.
I just want to say hi. Don't get Austin too excited.
Yeah, I know, right? A little scumbag.
I just wanted to say hi. Love you.
Love you. Oh, she's too sweet for you.
Say the same thing about Lily.
Not just the right sweetness.
Nah. Okay. All right.
You are not sweet at all.
I am like fucking.
You're as bitter as fucking like licorice,
brother.
Dude.
I'm like Butterfingers.
No, you're disgusting, dude. You're not Butterfingers. Don't you dare slander Butterfingers.
Oh God. So okay.
I forget, is this one where I can read the title, or are you gonna yell at me again?
You can read the title, but what do you think so far about her bumping her head and speaking another way? Well, not speaking our language, but speaking in a different accent and having these horrible night terrors.
I still want to hear your Egyptian accent.
I don't even know how to do one, man. I don't even know what one sounds like.
You said you could do one.
I can't. I don't know what.
Oh, now you're changing?
I didn't say that.
Off camera during prep, you're like, I'm gonna give a sick Egyptian accent. And now you're just leaving us hanging, dude.
Dude, the only thing I know about Egypt is the song "Walk Like an Egyptian." That's about it. And they don't.
Okay, I'm sure that's. Like, I know that's a song by the Bangles, but I'm sure fucking Egyptians are like, yo, that's sick.
They probably don't like it.
Probably not.
Probably
I don't
not.
think ancient Egyptians would have liked it either.
It's also not. It's not that great of a song, anyways, to be honest. But hey, whatever. All right. So you don't have much of an opinion so far.
No, I mean,
There's not a lot to go off of yet.
there's nothing to go off of. I mean, it's just a screaming child. Children scream. Children have nightmares.
Yeah, you still do.
Already, I'm kind of having like doubts of the validity to whether or not she actually said these things. Who knows?
Well, you can talk more about it. Let us know.
Wait, am I allowed to speak? Because I remember last time you yelled at me.
You're allowed to speak. Yes.
I always ask questions and stuff, and I guess that's not allowed on this podcast because I live under a dictator.
Yep. I'm glad you've adjusted.
So let me know when I can speak.
You can speak now.
What can I say and what can I not say?
I'll tell you when to not talk.
Okay. The past beckons due to Dorothy's newfound ability
asshole.
to speak in a different accent. Okay, wait, can I speak?
You can speak.
Like,
yeah.
legit?
You can speak legit. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, nice. Well, I do that a lot. I don't do coke, if anyone's wondering. It's just like a nervous tick, right? Due to Dorothy's newfound ability to speak in a different accent, and consequentially, its effect on securing a babysitter, Carolyn and Reuben begrudgingly decided to take Dorothy with them on their annual visit to the British Museum. Unfortunately, they knew full well that Dorothy wasn't going to be entertained by a bunch of old, dusty, colonized items in a museum. As expected, soon after arriving, it didn't take too long for Dorothy to become exceedingly bored. Dorothy moped, complained, and just overall wasn't having a good time. That was until... That was until, however, something caught her eye. That something was the ancient Egyptian exhibit. As her and her parents explored the exhibits, Dorothy became increasingly excited and was absolutely transfixed with the various artifacts scattered throughout the wing. Then, without warning, she ripped her hand away from her mother's hand and began to run towards the statues of various Egyptian gods. She proceeded to stop at each statue and proceeded to kiss their feet before moving on to the next one. While doing this, she also then began to yell at various guests and chastise them for wearing shoes in the presence of the gods. Dorothy's parents were understandably left mortified and completely embarrassed over their daughter's behavior. As they continued to chase Dorothy, they apologized with labored breath to the offended guests. When they finally did catch up to Dorothy, they found her standing in front of a glass case, staring at its contents in absolute awe. Behind the glass was an Egyptian mummy. Carolyn shook Dorothy from this trance-like state when she attempted to pick her up and carry her out of the museum. While trying to leave, Dorothy began to speak in an old woman's voice and said, "These are my people," and fought to stay. Ultimately, it would take hours before Dorothy was stable enough to leave.
What a little brat.
I mean, I think I'd prefer my daughter talking like that than just screaming and crying and everyone looking at me.
That's true. At least now you have an excuse, Pig. I'm sorry, she's possessed.
Ironically, despite this altercation that took place, Dorothy's parents would actually go on to take her back to the museum quite often. While there, Dorothy would typically remain happy and peaceful, which in turn made her parents happy. This would go on for years. Fast forward to Dorothy's 7th birthday, Dorothy would go on to receive a children's encyclopedia about ancient Egypt from her father. For many hours a day, Dorothy would study the book and try to gain as much insight into ancient Egypt as possible. More specifically, she would focus on the hieroglyphics found inside the book. One time, after yet another long session of studying the glyphs, Carolyn asked Dorothy what she was doing. Cryptically, she responded, "I'm trying to remember." Sometime after this, Dorothy read a science magazine that happened to have an article about the Temple of Seti. This temple, which had been built for the father of Ramses the Great, was located in the town of Abydos. Worryingly, as Dorothy flipped through the pages, she became increasingly more upset. Realizing something was wrong, Caroline asked her daughter if something was bothering her. Dorothy then immediately began to frantically ask, "Where are all the trees and gardens?" Concerned, Caroline asked, "What is this place, Dorothy?" Dorothy then smiled exceedingly wide and proceeded to say, "Mama, this is my home."
Mama, I'm coming home.
Why does this just reek of fucking bullshit, though?
I mean,
like, did she really say, Mama, I'm coming home? Like, come on.
And supposedly, these are, you know. And
what's the book deal? Was there a book deal?
I don't think there's a book deal with Dorothy, to be fair. Excuse me. No, a lot of.
Hey man, you're the one that put the podcast off till Saturday. If you're tired, that's on you.
It's been a long day. Okay. Anyways, no. So yeah, I agree. Like this stuff, I'm not entirely sold. I'm not sold. You know, it'd be incorrect for me to say I'm sold on this story because I'm probably not. But this is just the setup. This stuff, I don't know if, you know, I find it very hard to believe that this stuff happened up to this point. But there is stuff that happens later that does have like literally concrete evidence, which is really that it's interesting.
Wow, you're really just gonna spoil it like that? You're not gonna let us get there organically?
Yep, you're right.
Are you yelling at me for that?
Yep, exactly.
Way to spoil it.
Yep, no worries. That's what I do. I like spoiling.
Congrats.
As long as spoiling your fun, that's all I care about. All right. So, as you've kind of just exclaimed, you're not on board yet. No. Okay, that's fair. Totally fair. Let me let me add some more zest to this story.
Yeah, please do.
By the time she was 15, Dorothy was still experiencing the very dream she had all those years ago. However, unlike when she was a small child, she now found that not only had these dreams become a comfort, but she'd also begun to understand them better. Additionally, it was around this time that she claimed that a man named Hora began to contact her. Specifically, he asked her to write everything down that he had to say. And if you're wondering, this was Hora contacting her like in her dreams. Wasn't calling her on the phone. Allegedly, it was during these writing sessions that Dorothy would go into a trance-like state and begin to write down whatever Hora was telling her. This would go on for an entire year until Dorothy had about 70 pages worth of notes.
I did say that name without an A.
Aura.
Without an A.
Or.
Because you're really doing that aura, and now you're changing it to or.
Hey, that's how it's pronounced. Sorry.
Which one is it? You're being very inconsistent.
It's Hora.
Here.
Okay, it's Hora.
So how do you say that without an A?
You don't say it. This would go on for an entire year until Dorothy had about 70 pages worth of notes. The writings consisted of a meshed jumbling of English and hieroglyphics.
So I'm guessing it's just shapes that people have said, oh, that's a hieroglyph.
Basically, she's just drawing like all kinds of like symbols and shapes that, you know, like
just child scribble. You know how they fucking scribble and they're like, what is it? A pony? It's like
what?
What?
I'm pretty sure it's a football, but sure, whatever.
Sure. They're just like, what do these hieroglyphics mean?
She's just drawing all over the walls and stuff like that in crayon, and it's literally just random scribbles and shit.
Scribbles.
Oh, what's this one, Dorothy? And it's like the family with like X's like scratched on their eyes and stuff like that. Well, apparently they were hieroglyphics, and this is what those hieroglyphics said. Specifically, bizarrely, it turned out these entries actually told a story. Specifically, they told the story of Dorothy's, or rather, the story of Dorothy's previous life in ancient Egypt. According to the notes, Dorothy claimed that in a previous life, she was an Egyptian woman named Bentreshet. She had been born in Abydos to a mother and father who had been a soldier and a vegetable seller, respectively. Sadly, when she was only 2 years old, her mother passed from illness and was left with a father who was unable to care for her. As a result of this, Bentreshet's
Didn't have healthcare or childcare back in Egypt.
No, actually, I wonder if they. I mean, they're pretty advanced. I wonder if they had anything like that. I mean, let's face it. How much healthcare would you really get back then? But I do wonder.
I demand penicillin.
I mean, I don't think penicillin. Penicillin definitely wasn't a thing then. If you wanted penicillin, you'd go find some mold somewhere and like eat it and hope it works. It's as close to penicillin as you were getting at this time. Sadly, when she was only 2 years old, her mother had passed from illness and was left with a father who was unable to care for her. As a result of this, Bentreshet's father decided to send her to the temple of Kom el Sultan, where she would ultimately be raised to become a priestess. This would go on until she turned 12. Upon her 12th birthday, Bentreshet was faced with a decision. On one hand, she could leave the temple and go live her life as she saw fit, but would not receive any assistance. On the other hand, she could become a consecrated virgin and remain at the temple. Ultimately, she decided to stay and take her vows. I mean, like, what real option is that? I mean, yeah, she can go on her own, but like, here, be free. You're an adult now. Your family is non-existent. You're not going to get anything from us. You just go straight out into the street. I mean, like, kind of narrows down what you're going to have to do, really. Anyway, she chose to stay at the temple. 3 years later, she would go on to meet.
How do they certify that she's a virgin?
They just ask, have you ever had sex? And she's like, nah, man. And they're like, okay, good.
They just write it down somewhere.
Just write it down. I'm guessing. Honestly, I don't know, and I didn't want to go look. So there might be more to it than that, but I don't know. So yeah. So she stayed. She supposedly stayed a virgin and stayed with the temple.
However,
3 years later, she would go on to meet Pharaoh Seti I at the Temple of Seti, and eventually go on to have a forbidden affair. This affair would lead.
They got all this from the hieroglyphics of some 12-year-old dude?
Yes, exactly. It's crazy. That's how detailed these were. They're looking at Dorothy's writing, like, Dorothy, what happened? Like, what's going on? She just continuing on and on and on and on. And then this happened, and then that happened.
I didn't explain them, and they just interpreted it.
It could be. Honestly, it could be. This affair would lead Bentreshet to become pregnant with the pharaoh's child. Eventually, the secret became impossible to keep. Yeah, no shit. And Bentreshet eventually told the high priest about the relationship with Seti. She was told by the high priest that this was a sin against Isis. Not that Isis. It's a god. One that was so severe that she would likely be sentenced to death after her trial.
Hey, just like ISIS.
Just like ISIS. If his trial were to occur, not only would it likely result in her execution, but it would also disgrace the pharaoh. In order to avoid all of this, Bentreshet would go on to take her own life and spare the pharaoh the embarrassment of a scandal. At this point, Dorothy finally felt she understood everything that had happened to her up to this point in her life. However, she didn't quite know what to make of it all. In time, though, this revelation is what would guide her throughout the course of the rest of her life. I mean, it all makes sense now. It's obvious. Thank God.
Thank God, dude.
So Dorothy believes at this moment that she had a previous life in ancient Egypt, and man, what a life it was. It was short, but it was very interesting. And apparently, she was sleeping with a pharaoh, so damn.
How do you interpret that from hieroglyphics, bro? From a 12-year-old, 15-year-old?
Apparently she's really good. I don't know.
How do you get that entire story? Like, how do we get that? Truthfully.
We get to it later. In the theories.
You look angry when you sneeze.
Oh, it's allergies, man. Fucking terrible right now. So sick of being sneezy and coughing.
Addict.
Are you drug addict? Ah!
So fucking hard.
Oh shit! All
The
right,
start of Dorothy's
talk about
career.
Dorothy's career.
I was
You
trying
should
to,
talk
but
about
you cut me
Dorothy's
off.
career right now. Please do.
After she graduated high school, Dorothy would go on to work at her parents' business, which happened to be the local theater. While this was indeed a far cry away from working with Egyptian history, it did pay the bills. Thankfully for Dorothy, however, she wouldn't have to wait for too long for her fortunes to change. In 1931, Rick O'Connell walked into the library that she was working at. Shout out Brendan Fraser in The Mummy. In 1931, her big break came in the form of acquiring a position with a London-based Egyptian public relations magazine. Very niche. Specifically, the magazine's intent was to help facilitate a truly independent Egypt. As a bit of a side note, the relations between the UK and Egypt throughout the 30s was not the best. In 1922, Egypt was technically declared as independent from the UK. But despite this, most Egyptian citizens and aspiring politicians believed that the UK government's leveraging of assets meant that the former colonizer was still way too involved in the actual governing of the country. Ultimately, this is where Dorothy's new role would come into play. Dorothy obviously had quite an affectionate stance towards Egypt and ultimately used these feelings to help advocate for Egyptian nationalism and full independence. While she was employed with the magazine, her work eventually garnered the interest of a wealthy Egyptian man named Iman Abdel Miguid. Miguid. Migui. This correspondence eventually led to something more and culminated with a proposal of marriage in 1933. Dorothy ultimately accepted this request. Soon after being married in London, Dorothy and Iman moved back with his family in Cairo. And upon landing and exiting the plane, Dorothy supposedly kneeled down on the runway and kissed the ground before proclaiming that she was finally home. Unfortunately, however, it wouldn't be too long before the honeymoon of this whole adventure ceased. Right now, she's just sounding like a woman that might have had a fetish for Egyptian men. You know, kind of like I knew a white girl in high school that loved Mexicans. I've known a
Was
white
she with
girl in
you?
high school that loved the black man. No, she wasn't. I wasn't viewed as a real Mexican. The Mexicans, no, like I'm not even kidding. Like
How are you not a real Mexican?
because the Mexicans declared it so, dude.
Well, what
It was
were
a
you
very.
then?
I was a fucking. Listen, for whatever reason, I mean, I know the reason, but Mexicans don't like Mexican Americans, right? They're
Okay,
like, pick a side.
that makes sense. Okay.
They're like, you're not really one of us. You're not Chicano. You're not this. You're not that. You grew up in America. You're gringo as fuck. You're not who you claim to be. And you got good old US baby. Like you're a fucking Mexican. Go back to your country. Fuck you. So it's like, all right, where do I go? I'll go hang out with these Asian guys over here.
Okay, fair enough. That's. I'm glad you found your place. I guess. Random things. Oh,
Anyways, I think Dorothy's just a girl that's got a fetish for Egyptian dudes.
is that a crime?
No, I guess not. Just a little weird. From the get-go, Dorothy and Iman's family did not see eye to eye. For starters, Dorothy was extremely disappointed with Iman's family, as she believed that they were not committed to traditional Egyptian culture,
Yeesh.
which she was very outspoken about. In turn, Iman's family thought that Dorothy was crazy and was extremely embarrassed by how much and how openly she discussed her previous life amongst the family and in public. Due to their stature in the community, they ultimately worked to distance themselves and Iman from Dorothy.
I mean, in a way, I actually do get that because you have this like white girl coming in and being like trying to like lecture you about your own culture. It's a little
Your
like
own culture, and it's just like, okay, bro, like, what the fuck?
right. No, seriously, it's like don't get me wrong, like she does. Like, you'll see more of this, but she does genuinely care, maybe a little too much about traditional Egyptian culture. But the thing is, it's like, you know, like when you go to like I don't know, Scotland, not everyone's wearing fucking kilts anymore. Like it's not, times move on. Like people don't, yeah, some people honor certain things and do certain things, but you know, this is Egypt in the 1930s.
It's like when you go to Mexico, Austin, and you realize not everyone's wearing a fucking sombrero or riding a fucking burro.
They don't?
Which is a donkey, yeah.
Crazy,
right?
Oh,
not everyone's got a poncho or fucking maracas going, andale, andale.
Man, I've always wanted a set of maracas.
Fucking racist ass.
I'd love some maracas. Can you get me some maracas?
No.
Why?
Because I hate you.
You could paint them for me and make them all like nice.
Yeah, I'll draw out some ghosts on it with pointy
oh my
hoods.
God, that'd be great. Oh, we missed Cinco de Mayo, damn it. That'd be a good episode for that.
I'm talking about clan members, Austin.
Is that a thing?
Did you not hear me say ghosts with pointy hoods?
Oh, I didn't hear the pointy hoods. I just heard ghosts.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's my impression of Austin yawning.
Yeah, well, it's a long fucking day, man.
I'm sorry you had to climb a ladder.
I had to do a lot more than that today.
In turn, Iman's family thought the wait, no.
With the marriage, I think.
Yeah. While the marriage would eventually end soon after it began, the divorce would not occur before Dorothy gave birth to a son named Seti, named after her lover in a previous life. Faced with the separation from her husband and her new last name, Dorothy decided to change her entire name to Om Seti. This literally translates to Mother of Seti, which was seen. This literally translates to Mother of Seti, which was apparently how women were known in ancient Egypt. Soon after the divorce, while still living in Cairo, Dorothy was able to procure employment with Egypt's Department of Antiquities in 1935. They asked her, "Do you know how to get to Hamunaptra?" To which she said, "The city of the dead." That didn't happen. Go watch The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. That's such a classic.
Is there a second one coming out?
So they tried to reboot it with Tom Cruise. That flopped. And now they're trying to reboot it again. And I think it came out like 3 weeks ago, but I haven't heard anything glowingly positive of it. So I'm guessing it didn't do too well.
And that had Brendan Fraser in it, right?
The original, yes. The new
No,
one,
I thought they were trying to bring him back for it.
Did they? Brendan Fraser. I just remember watching Little Dicky, and he makes a cameo, and it's like, oh my God, I love Brendan Fraser. And Brendan goes, it's Fraser. I don't see anything about him being in the new Mummy.
Huh. Okay. I thought they were
no
trying
cameos,
to
no nothing. Maybe they tried, and he's like, yeah, fuck you.
Fair enough. I'm sure he wanted a sequel, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that. Once upon a time.
Soon after the divorce, while still living in Cairo, Dorothy was able to procure employment with Egypt's Department of Antiquities in 1935. Interestingly, this appointment made Dorothy Eady the first woman to be hired in the department's history. Despite this impressive feat, Dorothy would not rest on her laurels, as she would ultimately make a name for herself as a respected scholar in her field. Moreover, she produced multiple documents and even deciphered hundreds of hieroglyphics despite having no formal education. By the end of this stint, she would be considered by many as an expert in Egyptology.
So
She
first,
sounds like a white girl in high school that learned Spanish and basically dated Mexican dudes, and then like all of a sudden, like she's like, "Yo soy mexicana." It's like, yeah, okay, dude. It's like, I know you're born and fucking raised in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, dude.
so she actually like would go on to do many discoveries.
Oh, good for her.
Better,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy because like I didn't think, like when I found out the story, I'm thinking like, you know, let's face it, most of the stories we cover here, the person in, you know, the people we talk about are famous because of the story, but very,
What story is that?
like, you know, like ghost stories and stuff like that. Like that's why they're famous.
What ghost stories have you ever talked about?
like the Conjuring ones and stuff like that. Like the Smurl haunting and stuff like that.
Don't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, you stop doing cocaine off the table.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
No, but she actually like is like she made a lot of discoveries that are like still like revered today, which is pretty amazing. So even if you took this story out, she's done a lot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I get what you're saying. One weird note though is she named her child Seti.
Seti.
Well, Seti was the man in her previous life that she got pregnant from. That's a weird thing to call. Like, you're gonna.
No, it's like, I mean, like if you and Sam, I know you don't want kids, but if you had kids and you knocked her up and you were that guy that like, I'm gonna name him Austin Jr., it's the same thing.
Right, but could you? Okay, it'd be more like if
She named him after the man that knocked her up. Yeah, that happens, dude.
Right, but it'd be more like Sam had an ex and we have a kid. She's like, I'm gonna name it after my ex. That's what it's more like.
You know, there's a scandal right now going on in the NFL world of the Patriots head coach named Mike Vrabel. And he's been having an affair with a married reporter. And the reporter had a child. And there's now documentation linking the two to having the affair while she was pregnant. The coach that she's having an affair with is named Mike. The child she gave birth to was named Mike. And she claims that it was to honor her brother or something, or like, because her brother is named Mike. So it's like, shit happens, dude.
I guess. I mean, whatever, you know, do what you want, right? But yeah, no,
Affairs wait for no one, Austin.
it's true. It's very true. So yeah, Dorothy's career at this point is kind of booming. She's made her name for herself. She also was able to make a name for herself after a divorce, which I'll be honest, I don't know what the cultural norms in Egypt are with that, but I feel in the 30s in the United States, if you were a divorcee, that was not good. Like, you know, you were in trouble, like, financially, because you couldn't really, I don't think you could have like credit. You couldn't really do much. It was hard.
Are you saying women aren't allowed to vote?
Back in the 30s, it was very, I mean, they could vote, but it was very.
Is this you condoning and saying that we should go back to the way of the 1930s?
No, is this you saying that?
The golden era?
Are you saying that?
I don't know. It just sounds like you're really advocating for it.
No, what I'm trying to say is good for her for
You're
actually.
saying that women don't get to have divorces, dude?
Back in the 30s, no, you got a divorce, you were fucked.
I'm going to clip that. Austin says women are not allowed to get divorced.
No divorces.
No divorces.
Oh, God.
You're keeping that baby.
Jesus Christ.
Austin doesn't believe in woman autonomy.
I do very much.
Bodily
actually.
autonomy.
All right, how about we talk about the test that Dorothy went through, right?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just skip this part then.
Yeah, just skip it. Let's just wrap it from here.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye. Stay.
Bye.
Happy.
Stay spookers.
Yeah, stay spooky.
Spookers.
All right. The test. Over the following 2 decades, Dorothy would go on to continuously develop her skills within the field of Egyptology, as well as elevate the entire practice. It was this very dedication to her field of study that would ultimately lead Dorothy to the opportunity of a lifetime in 1952. Specifically, this involved being granted a position directly under the Chief of Antiquities in the town of Abydos. Now, in case you'd forgotten, Abydos was the town in which Dorothy believed she had resided all those years ago in her previous life. Believing that she was truly finally home now, Dorothy wasted no time in getting acclimated to her previous hometown. She continued to observe ancient Egyptian religion and would regularly spend nights praying and sleeping in the various Egyptian temples. Similarly to her ex-husband's family, many people in the area viewed Dorothy as an eccentric and overall outcast. This, however, did not dampen Dorothy's spirits. Over the course of the next 5 years, Dorothy would continue to provide her expertise and further prove herself to her new boss. Obviously, it wouldn't take too long for the chief of antiquities to notice that Dorothy had an uncanny understanding of ancient Egyptian culture. Despite this, however, he wasn't sold with her story and thought that it would be worth his while to test Dorothy. One night, both him and Dorothy met up at the Temple of Seti to test her knowledge and prove once and for all.
Come El Sultan.
Yes, it's not supposed to be that.
The Temple of Cum?
The Temple of Cum, yes. It's the Temple of Cum. It's like that Nickelodeon special, remember, where it's like a Temple of Doom and it's slime, but it's not slime, it's cum.
It's cum.
It's cum.
It's just cum.
Yep.
I think the slime was cum.
It probably was. And judging by the stories that came out of the Nickelodeon...
Why was the Nickelodeon logo a fucking foot, dude?
I don't know.
Why were we obsessed with children's feet in the 90s?
I don't know. It's weird, man. There's a lot of weird shit that's coming out of all these entertainment industries.
Yeah, dude. I watched. I've been seeing. I like recently found a channel on like Instagram. It's like 90s nostalgia, and some of the cartoons we watch, man, were just Cow and Chicken.
Oh my god, Cow and Chicken, yeah.
Ren and Stimpy, Cow and Chicken, fucking.
I didn't watch much Ren and Stimpy.
Life, dude.
Rocko's Modern Life I loved when I was a kid.
It was also fucked, dude.
It was really fucked up. It was kind of funny though. Not gonna lie. But yeah, the cartoons back then were really fucked up. Ren and Stimpy was borderline not really a cartoon for kids, really. There's a lot of adult stuff
It
in
definitely
that.
wasn't.
All right, well, this is not the Temple of Cum we're talking about. It's the Temple of Seti. And Dorothy and her boss are meeting at the Temple of Seti to test her knowledge and prove once and for all that she truly had lived here in a previous life. So for the next couple of hours, he would ask Dorothy to lead him to different parts of the temple with only a torch for minimal light. Without fail, Dorothy navigated the temple with pinpoint accuracy, and it seemed as though she truly knew every inch of the temple. Ultimately, he gave up after the 6th attempt. What made this feat truly exceptional was the fact that the layout of the Temple of Seti had not been made public, nor had Dorothy ever previously had the opportunity to explore the temple. What was even more amazing was the fact that when Dorothy would go on to mention the gardens that she had witnessed in her dreams, the chief of antiquities would claim that nothing of the sort had been uncovered. That same day, Dorothy would lead them to the area in which she believed they had been located. After a brief excavation, the remnants of the garden were found. In a separate instance, Dorothy would claim that if excavations occurred on the north side of the temple, they would uncover a hidden tunnel. Once again, Dorothy's assumptions were correct, and the excavation team found a buried tunnel that led into the temple. By this point, it seemed as though it would have been a fool's errand to bet against Dorothy. Fast forward to 1964, Dorothy would be celebrating her 60th birthday, which was indeed bittersweet to say the least. On one hand, Dorothy had had an amazing life and career and was very satisfied with how things turned out. However, on the other hand, Egyptian law required that you must retire when you've reached the age of 60. Thankfully for Dorothy, however, this would not be her fate. As it turned out, Dorothy had made such amazing contributions to the study of Egyptology that the governing body of Egyptian labor laws decided she deserved an exemption. As a result, she was able to continue her work as an archaeologist/Egyptologist. This also meant that she could continue to utilize the memories she had had of her previous life to make new discoveries both in and outside the Temple of Seti. Despite having been an expert on the Temple of Seti's layout, she also seemingly happened to be quite knowledgeable of the surrounding structures. For example, she claimed in 1972 that the lost tomb of Nefertiti was underneath the tomb of her stepson Tutankhamun. His tomb had been uncovered in 1922, for context, and excavations would go on in the area for the next 50 years, but no such chamber would be found. However, archaeologists in 2015, which had the benefit of advanced subterranean radar technology, did discover a chamber exactly where she said it would have been. Finally, Dorothy claimed that there was a small library under the Sphinx. Since then, scans have found chambers underneath the Sphinx. It is important to note, however, that no library has been found. So she actually was able to find the shit. Now, to be fair, I
think
don't.
maybe she's just a very educated woman that was able to come to learn Egyptian hieroglyphics. Maybe she just really read, and like a lot of the hieroglyphics were like, hey, these are plans to build this temple of Seti this way, even though no plans are made to the public or whatever.
She could just understand
Same with-
architecture very well. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, like, you know, I don't think we're ever going to have, I mean, like, with the exception of some alien ones, but you're not going to find stories here that I necessarily believe in. And, you know, I don't know how much I believe in this one, but I will say, like you said, she's definitely not dumb. She might be crazy depending on, you know, certain things, but she is very smart. And, you know, I do wonder, like, kind of like we just talked about, is I wonder if she kind of just had a good idea of, like, how architecture works. Because there are things that would just make sense. And if you've been studying Egyptian architecture for most of your life, you might kind of be able to pinpoint where, like, well, it would make sense for this to be here because of X, Y, Z, you know? So maybe it's still impressive, but
It is very impressive.
which,
I agree with that.
but to be like, I remember this because I was there. I don't know.
Seems far-fetched.
Yeah, a little bit. But well, you can tell us, was she telling the truth, Fernando?
I contractually have to wait for you to like.
Oh, okay. You can. You're good.
Can I read the title?
You can read the title.
Okay. Am I allowed to say okay? Was Dorothy telling the truth? So, at this point in the story, it would probably be fair to say that we've been given a lot of information to process. Most obvious is probably the fact that this may all be quite hard to believe, and probably has us asking if any of this is actually true. Well, let's explore that a little bit. Because to give credit where credit is due, Dorothy did in fact get quite a lot of information correct. She made multiple discoveries that were downright spookers, as there was no way she would have been able to know where these hidden places were. However, we also have to mention the fact that she did also get quite a bit wrong. It also doesn't help that a lot of the claims came directly from Dorothy herself. For example, the story of the fall, the museum experience, the trance writing, and the test in Aberos all came from Dorothy. Additionally, there isn't much evidence to prove that any of these scenarios happened. One thing that did happen was Dorothy did actually develop a foreign accent during her childhood. If you believe that she truly did have a fall, which many people do, it is possible that she suffered brain damage, which could have led to foreign accent syndrome. Foreign accent syndrome, also known and abbreviated as FAS, is a rare neurological speech disorder often caused by stroke or brain injury. Patients can suddenly speak their native language with perceived yet unintentional foreign accent. It's kind of like how if you get Austin drunk enough and we're eating Chinese food, he just lets out his.
Shut the fuck up. Are you sure you're talking about yourself? Just saying.
He'll give you a picture perfect Chinese accent.
Oh my god.
Additionally, if she did suffer from brain damage as a byproduct of her fall, it is also possible that she developed obsessive compulsive disorder. Ya boy. Shout out Noah Kahan, who I found out recently through literally 4 days ago. I think he did an interview with Rolling Stone where he talks about being diagnosed with OCD and having intrusive thoughts and stuff. So maybe I'll start being a fan of his.
This last album is the best one I think he's ever had.
I still think he's an industry plant, but if you got OCD, I respect you. The obsession would have likely made it significantly easier for Dorothy to become skilled and knowledgeable in the subject as time progressed. It is important to note that Dorothy was in fact institutionalized multiple times throughout her life. Yeah, she probably had OCD.
Now, also, it didn't take much back then for women to be committed to an institution, because they'd be like, oh, well, you're acting this way or whatever. Well,
you heard it here first. Austin is advocating for women to be reinstitutionalized for not obeying the man.
Back then, there was a lot of things that were not treated with respect or
in
sympathy.
Your opinion, what?
Mental health. Mental health was not treated like very gently. It was thrown.
How come you don't respect my mental health?
I just don't respect you. Okay, I just don't respect you. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's because of my race, isn't it?
No, it's because you are you.
It's because you deem me a less superior race than the white race.
No, I just deem you a less superior person.
I've heard your Chinese accent. I know how you feel about party.
I don't do a Chinese accent.
I've watched Mulan with you.
Yeah, we watched Mulan. It was a terrible movie. It was horrible. I'm talking about the live action, by the way, not the cartoon. Oh, the cartoon. That's great.
In his words, not out of context, they all look the same. Where is Mushu?
That actually is out of context. That literally is out of context. Because yes, I said that.
That was you. Yeah,
but you said
that.
Not out of context. That is out of context.
I just asked you how you like the movie. You said they all look the same. Where is Mushu?
Okay, first of all, actually, I didn't say they all look the same. I said I can't tell who's who because they didn't develop any of the characters at all. They were not like any of the characters in the movie. They had no personality, and it was impossible to tell who was who because they didn't give them a personality.
Shout out Shang, I think his name was Shang.
Shang's the captain.
Yeah, because he was totally on board with boning Mulan until he found out she was the woman.
He was actually kind of disappointed at first.
Yeah, he was like, ugh.
Oh, you're a woman.
I was in love with a woman.
Ugh, gross.
God.
No, I mean, that is definitely the case, and there's no other way to look at it. Like, there really isn't.
Our gay king, dude.
Which is totally okay, but it's like, it's just kind of funny how they're like, I don't think they really realized, maybe they did, but I really don't think they realized kind of like,
fucking Disney's the optics been from the jump, dude.
It's like this. I don't think this is the story you're trying to make. Don't worry, I love the cartoon. It's fantastic. Did they? Honestly, I really don't remember. How did they treat the relationship in the movie, like in the live action? I don't remember how the dynamic.
I don't think there was a Shang. I think they cut the romance out.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think you're right because they focused on some weird like. The woman with like the phoenix or whatever. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And then like Mulan just like knew how to fight like since being a child basically. Like she's like doing freaking parkour at like the age of like 4 years old.
Okay, I don't think it's parkour, Austin. I think it was a martial arts style. I don't think you could just be like, oh, all parkour.
I mean, it basically was. She was jumping all around the buildings and stuff like that to get like a chicken or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. Watch the cartoon. It's way better. Anyways,
subscribe to our Patreon for more of Austin's unfiltered political rambling on what does and does make a good cultural movie.
Oh shit! You may proceed.
If you become a tier 3 Patreon supporter, you get to hear his political views and who he voted for.
I'll do a cameo for you. We'll talk about politics.
He'll talk to you on the subway about politics really loud.
Oh, shit. All right.
I used to be a Republican, but...
Yeah, that I didn't even say a word to that man. I said hi. I'm sorry. I said hello.
Yeah.
He just like told me everything. And it's like, okay, dude, like...
Stick to yourself, bro.
I was like, all right. You could tell there was something not connected behind the eyes there.
With you or him?
With him.
Interesting. Where was I? Conversely, despite the many skeptics within the study of Egyptology, many claim that her predictions and knowledge transcended simple intuition, and there was no way she could have simply guessed her way through the ranks of her career. Admittedly, it is a bit difficult to say that Dorothy did definitively live through ancient Egyptian times in another life. One thing that is not difficult to say, however, is the fact that she did indeed contribute greatly to the field of Egyptology. Many actually refer to Dorothy Eady as the patron saint of Egyptology. Your thoughts?
My thoughts.
Besides your political and Chinese ones.
Oh, okay. I'll put those in the back burner. What you were?
Yeah.
Thoughts. Well, I actually kind of think that. I mean, really, like I do actually think that I think she fell. First of all, I think she did have a fall, and I think she might have gotten some brain damage or whatever. And the foreign accent syndrome—that's a real thing that's happened. That would totally make sense. And OCD, whether the fall did that or she had it before, I don't know, but it is entirely possible. It's like when kids have like the dinosaur phase, like, oh my god, I love dinosaurs, I want to play with dinosaurs, I want to be a dinosaur, all that happy stuff.
Who wanted to be a dinosaur?
I don't know. I wasn't a dinosaur kid. I don't know. But anyways, like,
what were you? A trains kid? Were you obsessed with trains?
No, I was not a trains kid. What was I actually?
Were you a rip the clothes off a Barbie doll kid?
No, I was not. My sister was one of the people that would like cut like it started cutting the hair off.
Was your sister kid from Toy Story?
She kind of was, honestly. She kind of was. She'd like cut up the dolls and stuff like that.
Blow it up with firecrackers.
I don't think she blew up any of the firecrackers, but she would definitely cut up her Barbie
like
dolls.
Angelica from the from the Rugrats with Cynthia. Was that the doll's
Cynthia.
name that had like the cut up hair?
Yeah, no, I don't know what I was, honestly. I don't remember. Like,
you had to. What were you, dude?
I was a Pokemon kid. There you go. I was a Pokemon kid.
Were you just a little fucking
I love Pokemon.
rabid racist as a child, or what?
No. Why do you keep projecting, man?
Because I've heard your Chinese accent.
You haven't actually. I don't have one.
I've heard your fucking feed of just send this to an evil, dirty Mexican.
Actually, usually like the ones I do see is like send this to your Mexican friend that you love. Usually it's like that.
I'm gonna play one right here that you sent me.
Send this to your Mexican.
Nope, not that one.
Got the positive one, that's why.
Send this to an evil Mexican. Evil Mexican. Your evil ways. Don't you know how many people you're affecting, evil Mexican? Don't you remember what your grandma told you, evil? That is mala la gente. Remember that, evil Mexican. Maybe try being more Catholic, evil Mexican. Maybe put down the beers, evil Mexican. Start thinking about your effect on the world, evil Mexican. Send this to an evil Mexican.
Jeez, I wonder who sent me that one.
I just love how like on the nose and obvious it is. Like, it's like everyone who's been listening has been like, he just means like he's sending them like funny things. It's literally the guy saying evil Mexican. Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude.
To be fair though, the guy on there is Mexican, so
Are you sure? He looks pretty gringo to me, dude.
I'm pretty sure he's Mexican. Oh my god. It's a lot of love. Okay.
Sometimes the evil Mexican in your life. I'm getting a lot of comments asking, why so emo? I'm getting a lot of comments asking me if I'm actually Mexican or if I'm LARPing, so I'm here to prove it. Firstly, with my Spanish. Así que puedes ver que sí se habla hablar español muy bien.
Hey, maybe he's real.
Secondly, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Mexican dish, which is taquitos. I love taquitos. Step 3, last part, to prove that I'm Mexican.
What?
He's singing the Mexican national anthem while like trumpets and fucking
okay.
Put on in the background.
Send this to a Mexican.
Now you're just going through his feet. So I didn't send that one to you. Oh god.
Filthy, dirty, evil Mexican. Why don't you try to be more Catholic, evil Mexican?
Oh shit.
Thank you, Austin. I didn't realize how evil my ways were.
Well, good. I'm glad I could hopefully point you in the right direction.
Yeah, hopefully I can see the path of light now. Thank you. I will do my best to stop being such an evil little Mexican.
Please do better. Oh god. Anyways, yeah, I think it's possible that she had some brain damage. Some stuff happened.
Before we go back to Dorothy, do you have anything to tell the chat about my accusations being right again that you sent me?
Oh, that?
Yeah, you were denying it. that you didn't send.
I actually forgot I sent it to you. To be honest.
Interesting.
A lot of love. Should I tell the chat about everything you send me?
I have no shame. Go for it. Here, I'll do it for you. Let's see what's the last one I send you, dude.
I actually don't know what the last one you sent me was. What was it?
What's good, man? What you mean I can't say? Oh, I'm saying it wrong. What's up, my nicer? Oh, nice. What do you mean I can't say it, bro? My mom's half white. I like extra mayo on my sandwiches. Fuck you mean I'm not white enough to say that? Do I know white culture? Bruh, Post Malone, Imagine Dragons.
Oh, God.
Folk music. Younger. I've got a little, but I probably should. Oh, my nizzard.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I thought you came out. I'll be honest. I didn't. Yes, I saw that one.
It's an honor to squirt for you.
Oh, well, first we need a sample of your work.
That's the.
Oh, God. All right. Well, that's our Instagram stories together. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I believe Dorothy had some. I believe Dorothy had some brain damage. Okay. And then she just hyper fixated on Egyptology, and it came mostly down to, it could be a number of things. I mean, she's in a boring, it could have manifested with the museum. Like, she was just so bored shortly after this. And that was the first thing she saw was very interesting. And maybe she really was interested in it, but then it just became an obsession, and she just kind of never stopped.
Yeah, it was like me with sports growing up. I was obsessed with sports. I went to a sports college because I wanted to break into like ESPN or something, but I realized when I got to college, I fucking hate sports.
I mean, that's
I don't
fair.
hate sports. I hate the people that.
They've ruined it.
Well, no, I just hate like jocks.
Oh well, yeah, they're
like I hate alpha male machismo. Fucking.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you get a lot of that in sports.
Yeah, no,
which is honestly one of the reasons why I never fucking did them.
When I went to a college that was like 80% male, dude. I'm like, oh, this place reeks of testosterone, bro.
Yeah, that's not very fun. But okay, yeah. I mean, obsessions can, passions can be great, but they can also be detrimental sometimes. Seem to serve Dorothy pretty well for the most part. I mean, she had a couple cringy things here and there,
but nothing really came back to bite her in the ass.
No, yeah, she probably got a few weird looks, but she was very successful. So good for her, I guess. Plus, you know what? Like, kind of we've been bagging on her a bit, but she did literally go. She was a British citizen who actually went and like stood up for Egypt independence. So Egyptian independence. So that's something. I feel that's kind of rare back then. But all right, while you slurp your food, I'm gonna give us our conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take us home, my little nizer.
Alrighty, everyone. We have finally reached the end, so let's talk about it. Whatever the truth of Dorothy Eady's story may be, her life remains one of history's most fascinating mysteries. To skeptics, she was a woman whose deep fascination with ancient Egypt blurred the line between scholarship and belief. To others, she was living proof that memory may stretch far beyond the boundaries that we currently understand. And perhaps that's what makes her story so perplexing. It isn't just the claims she made or the life she insisted that she once lived. It's the unwavering certainty with which she carried those memories for decades through ridicule, scrutiny, and disbelief. Dorothy continued to stay in Abydos, where she regularly visited and prayed at the Temple of Seti, remaining deeply devoted to the place she believed had once been her home. She stayed there until her death in 1981, never abandoning that connection that had shaped her entire life. Even in her final years, she never wavered. So what do we make of Dorothy Eady? Was she an exceptionally gifted Egyptologist whose imagination became inseparable from her work? A woman consumed by an identity that she had carefully constructed? Or Was she something far stranger? A person carrying memories from a life separated from her own by thousands of years? We may never know. But long after her death, her story lingers in the ancient stones of Abydos and in the uncomfortable questions that she leaves behind. What if some memories aren't learned, but rather are remembered? That's the story of
Insert
Dorothy.
Mulan, that like little nerdy sidekick that goes, "A woman!"
A woman!
Shaggy's just like, no.
No, my whole future's been ruined. He had like the whole thing planned after the war and everything. When he saw all the Huns get killed by the avalanche, he's like, "Oh my god, my life with Ping starts now." And then that guy is like, "A woman!" and ruins it all. Oh god. That's a lesson, kids. Don't fall in love with someone during war. They probably have a vagina.
It's true.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, it's the story of Dorothy Eady. I think you know my feelings and thoughts behind it. Like, yeah, I don't believe it really. You know, I believe that she believes this, if that makes sense. I don't think it happened. I do think she genuinely suffered from brain damage, and weirdly enough, it led to a very fascinating and fruitful life for her, which is kind of amazing because usually when you get like when you're dealing with like mental health issues and stuff like that, very rarely does it help you. So she almost like kind of like learn to live with her demons and use them to her advantage almost. That's what I believe. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
I'm of the theory and belief that I think, yeah, she was just a nice little British girl obsessed with Egypt. Yeah. Maybe from an early age. Yeah. Maybe suffered from OCD.
I mean, I feel like probably during that time, like Egypt was interesting. I mean, it still is, but it was like very interesting, especially being like living near London, having the museum there, seeing all these amazing things constantly. Like, yeah, I could totally see how someone would fall in love with that, and she just became obsessed with it. Little eccentric though. I feel like the whole idea of like her waking up in the middle of the night and like writing like in a trance-like state is a little like fan fiction-y type deal. But hey, whatever floats her boat, right?
OCD and intrusive thoughts and compulsions and rituals can. I think the World Health Organization, like declared OCD one of the top 10 most debilitating. Thank you. Disorders in the world, and it can be. Like as someone that lives with it, it's very. I can be out with friends supposed to be having a good time, and I look miserable because I low-key am fighting battles and compulsions in my head. I can think that I can convince myself of symptoms that I don't have, and sometimes it's symptoms I do have. It's just one of those things that, like, I'm a big advocate for anyone that's got OCD because, like, I know how hard it is to fight that, and it's not fun. It's very insidious. I go to like a men's group now for it, where like there's like 7 of us that like all live in the area and like all different ages, different races, different everything. And we're just like, I got this type, I've got this type, I've got this type. It's like, and then we talk about our problems that we're going through and be like, oh, I've done something like that before. Oh, I've done something like that before. It's just, you're born with, I like to call it like a bug, right? Like, because I'm in tech, it's like a bug. But you can't debug it. You just got to live with it, work around it. You want to be like more video gamey with it. You're born with a fucking with a debuff, just perma debuff because God's like, nah, he needed a little harder, dude.
That's what Macy's there for, to help you.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad because one guy I was chatting with, I mean, I'm not gonna name his name or anything, but he was like, he's got a little kitty cat, and he accidentally got bed bugs from traveling.
That sucks.
And they had to fumigate his apartment and stuff, and he's been really worried about his health. He's been worried about his cat's health. He's been worried about all this stuff because Like he was compulsively throwing a lot of his furniture away when he didn't have to.
I mean, I
It's
get,
because
I
he's
get it.
worried.
I honestly get that
It's just
because if
like-
I had bed
it just
bugs,
happens.
everything would be fucking gone.
And then just to like be so afraid of what's going to happen to your little fur baby.
No, that's fair. That's a valid concern. I get it stems, like the amount of worry he has stems from this.
Yeah.
But
Just
I also do get the
amplifies it.
worry.
Yeah. So yeah, just if she really truly had obsessive compulsive disorder,
It does sound
feel
like
for
it, to be honest with you. It really
does,
does.
it
It
does.
totally
It's
sounds
like
like
it-
it.
she exhibits a lot of like ritualistic compulsions, obsessions.
I mean, hell, even if
Like magical,
everything,
like OCD is also classified by magical thinking, right? Thinking that everything means something. Everything is like a part of a grander scheme. So her thinking that she was reincarnated
yeah, I mean,
is magical thinking. It's part of
and,
OCD.
and that's what she was convinced, unapologetically, like completely convinced, till the day she died. And
The
she
amount
would-
of times I've convinced myself I've had cancer, it's like hundreds. That I know that one day when I do get it, it's gonna be like, fucking knew it, dude.
yeah,
Fucking knew it, dude.
to be fair, the statistics behind that aren't in anyone's favor, unfortunately. But all right, I think I'm good to put Dorothy Eady back on the shelf and move along. I think.
Rest in peace, my fetishizing OCD queen.
Yeah. Enjoy. Where do Egyptian people go when they die? Like according to traditional faith.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, well. The river.
Didn't you? You should know. You played that one.
I should.
It was actually a pretty sick game.
It was a
looked
very good
really
game.
scary. Yeah, it looked. He did really well with it.
Shit.
It's better than the ones you always make me fucking play. Fucking fuck Steel Krill, dude. That guy fucking sucks, dude.
Maybe if I can remember, I'll add
Also,
that.
don't feel bad, Steel Crow. Like, if that is your passion, it's just one guy's opinion. I think I respect the work you do. I respect that you put in effort. That's awesome, dude. Keep living your dream.
If I can remember,
I just hate your games.
I'll add that game to like the when it does the 4 recommended videos.
Because I
at the
think
end.
that's what I think they're trying to solve, and then it ends up being like aliens.
Aliens, yeah. So yeah, aliens. But
They go to aliens, dude.
they do go straight to aliens. I didn't see it coming though. I'll be honest with you. I really didn't see it coming. But
No, I didn't either.
it was like final moment of the game, and it's like it was aliens all along. What?
What?
So even they believe it. I can't remember the name of the developer for that game, but yeah.
You'll figure it out. Yeah, you'll fix it in post.
But all right, man, I am fucking tired. It's been a long
Yeah, no,
day.
you've been yawning since the first paragraph.
I know. I'm
dude.
sorry. Dude, being on a 20-foot ladder took a lot out of me. I'm fucking terrified of that shit. So sorry.
If it was a 19-foot ladder, it would have been fine though.
Right. If it's under 20, it's fine. But 20 feet, I just instantly get scared. But before we go, we got any final thoughts?
The change in elevation.
It's a change in elevation. Yeah, I got elevation sickness.
Yeah.
Do you got any final thoughts before we take off?
If you're struggling with OCD or you feel alone and isolated, that no one ever feels like you think this way, that no one else could understand how it feels, I feel you. Noah Kahan feels you. Noah Khan, whatever. And a lot of people do. And I resonate with you, and I love you if you do have it, and we're going to get through it together. You and me. But not you.
Oh, okay.
Not you, Austin. Fuck you.
Oh, okay.
But you and me, viewer, if you have OCD, viewer with OCD, we'll get through it. I
Okay.
love you.
And if I have any final thing to say, I'm interested to see what your
Is that what
Instagram
you
feed
wanted?
looks like. But
Your final thought should be, what does he say? Dirty or evil Mexican, turn to a Catholicism. Stop
be more
drinking evil
be
Mexican.
more Catholic.
Be more Catholic,
Be more
evil Mexican.
Catholic.
Renounce your evil ways, evil Mexican.
All right. Well, I think the only evil Mexican I know is you, so it's okay. Oh. All right. Well, goodbye, evil Mexican. I love you.
You can't even tell me to be Catholic. You got kicked out of the Catholic Church.
It's true. That story's for another day.
Shout out Dr. Castle, dude. Not you. You're the real doctor.
Oh god. All right, everybody. That does it for me.
All right.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. Remember to stay spooky.
Love you. Stay spookers out there.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Talk soon.